All right, just received this from FedEx, and we're going to open it up, take a look at what the packaging looks like, what the phone looks like, get our first initial thoughts, and go from there. Sorry, my puppy is very excited, so you might hear her panting in the background. But here is the front of the box. This is the Find X8 Ultra. Just came out about, a week or two ago. There's the rest of that. And the top's just got your typical specs and serial numbers and all that. So let's slide that. Nothing on that side. Here is our box that has paperwork, case, just like the Find X8 Pro. It's a nice flexible there. All right, continuing here, we've got the phone. Underneath, we've got beautiful charger. So this is 100-watt. It's USB Type A. There's all the specs if you want to read it. You've got giant USB cable with Type A to a Type C in there. You can see that. So we'll leave those out. And you got your SIM ejection tool there. Got a little pull here as well. There it is. Paper. We do have a screen protector on there. Powered up for the first time. Nice strong buzz. Just taking the sticker off the back of the phone here so we can get a nice look at the phone itself. Alright, there we go. So, nice and clean. It is very slick, slippery. There's your camera modules. Side profile of it. So we have the power, your volume rocker. You still have the camera shutter or camera button. And we no longer have the volume alert slider. We now have a programmable soft button. So it looks like they have unboxed it and put all the Chinese, the Google services on here, since this is a Chinese version. And there is a system update here. But what I'm going to do is just kind of browse through real quick. Let's look at About. There's all our information on the About page. AI. There is no Google Gemini. This has the Brino. And that is your settings. This is new. A quick glance there. And a software update there. But what I'm going to do is do a factory reset on it so we can see exactly what this phone comes with out of the box, because you can see here is the Play Store. And there's really not a lot of applications here because the store got rid of the majority of the bloatware. I like to see what's on there, so I'm going to go through and do a system reboot on that. So we'll be back in a bit. Just to really quickly show you when you do a factory reset or when you open this up out of the box. Sometimes like Giztop or something, they'll open it and install Google Play services for you. But if you get it factory reset, this is everything that you're going to have on your Oppo Find X8 Ultra. And there is no drawer, you can see, so everything is right on the home screen. And you can see all the different bloat bloatware everywhere. Just so you can see what it is.
All right, guys, I'm back. It's been a little over a week. I've had my main SIM in this phone, the Oppo Find X8 Ultra, and I've got some thoughts. So let's talk about it. So the very first thing I want to cover is what is different between the Ultra and the Pro. So the Pro came out a few months beforehand, and one of the things you're going to notice different is on the back here. They've changed the color of the camera housing. So it's no longer silver, it's now black. The word Oppo is now a lot more subtle and barely visible. I'll kind of show you around here. You can see it is there, but it's very hard to see. And another is that they had this marbling. Let's take this case off so you can see that a little better with the camera. But they had this very cool marbly type of texture that is now just a plain white. And we'll take the case off this one as well. And you can see it's just a plain silky white. They have the same type of finish, and that's what's changed there. Coming around to the side, we used to have the alert slider. We now have the shortcut button, and we'll dive into that in a little bit in this video. And get out of there. Something else that has changed from the Pro, let's kind of give these a wipe down. I've got smudges already, but another thing that has changed from these is the fingerprint sensor. As you can see, if I can get these both to wake up here, it went from the optical fingerprint reader down really low to now having a ultrasonic, where it's a little bit more in the usual position that others have it, a little bit higher up. As you can kind of tell here, the dimensions of the phone have also changed. We went from a 6.78 inch display here on the Pro. We now have a 6.82 inch. So what does that mean? We went from 1264 pixel to a 1440 pixel on the Ultra. Another thing that has changed here is the Pro had a 5,910 milliamp hour battery. The Ultra now has a little bit bigger 6,100 milliamp hour battery. So we'll go into settings on here and we can kind of take a look. And about. So you can kind of see the differences here that they give you on the about page. So we've got the 5910 here. This says 6100 on the Ultra. Another one of the changes is your processor. It went from the MediaTek Dimensity 9400, great performing processor, to the Snapdragon 8 Elite. They both had 16 gigs of RAM. They both have 512 in storage. They both have 50 megapixel cameras all over the back side and 32 megapixel on the front. So not much has changed there. And here you can see the displays that we just talked about a moment ago. And another difference here, when we go into the camera, this is the Pro over here, Ultra on the right. If we go into video, we see 4K has 30 and 60. 4K on the Ultra is 30, 60, and 120. And 120 is across the 1080p and 4K. 720 is just 30 frames per second. On the Pro, you see it's the same. Just 30 and 60 and 30 on 720. We have a very similar layout here, and there's your camera options, and we will talk about the cameras a little bit more later on. Another difference here, if we go back into settings, go back to the main here, and we're going to go to connection and sharing. You'll see there's some differences here. This one on the Pro global model has Android Auto showing. Ultra does have it, it just does not show here. But if we search, okay, so we're going to just type out Android Auto, you can see that it is right here, but doesn't actually show there, even though that's where the search takes you to. All right, so continuing down in the connection sharing here, We can see that there's now a My Devices on the Ultra, and a lot of other things here are similar, such as, linked windows. And here on the Ultra, there is a newer thing here for remote PC control. And I just did a video on that. You'll be able to watch that in the card at the top of the video here. But it allows you to remotely control your MacBook. Great feature. It was exclusive to the N5 foldable, but it has actually made its way to the Ultra. It might make it to some of the other phones down the road, who knows, but that is one of the differences here between the Pro and the Ultra. Here's another difference that I did notice between the Pro and the Ultra. Just kind of scroll through here. You'll be able to pause it and examine the differences if you'd like to. Just very small differences. Here's another difference here. If you go into the Notes app on both, you'll see the Pro has AI Writer. The Ultra does not. Minor difference. Not sure how many people actually use that, so may not even be a problem for you. And continuing on with the differences between the Pro and the Ultra, if you go into your photo album, the default one from Oppo, you go into AI Editor, you're going to see that the majority of these are the same. These four here are the same. But the Ultra has an additional one for AI Recompose. All right, and I think that's about the extent of the differences. There might be a few more subtle ones, such as, the curves here. Right, hopefully you can see that. I'll tap this to make it focus a little better. You can see there's just the most subtle curves here, whereas the Ultra, this is just straight flat here. There's no curves at the corner here. It's a little more like an iPhone or a Samsung S25 Ultra now. Good, bad, it is what it is. So this segment, I want to talk about some of the things that I like, some of the things that I don't like, and possibly some things that I wish they would change in future updates. So we just talked a moment ago about the design. It's a little bit more boxy. That's something that I'm not a fan of, because when you're holding it, it does fatigue your hand a little bit more than when you've got something curved, and the fatty part of your palm can, just comfortably sit there. I prefer those really subtle curves, not dramatic curves like we used to have over the last few years. But that is all a personal preference thing that for me is one of the things that I wish wasn't there. Another thing that I don't like is this shortcut button. And when you tap it, it'll tell you what status it's in right now. But if you hold it, you see that it goes to vibrate, goes to silent, and back to ring. And it does give it a nice vibration here. To change that, you go into settings, and right here you can have shortcut button. And look at this. Now, those that have an iPhone, you're going to feel right at home here, because this is very, very similar. These are the options that they give you. So you can control the camera. It's a little bit redundant since they have a camera quick action button there. So I'm not sure how many people would prefer to have that. Flashlight. That's actually not a bad option to have it translate when you hold it down. And scrolling past that, sorry. Screenshots. It's a little bit extra because you could just swipe your finger down and do that. And have it do nothing, which I think is kind of a waste then if you're going to have that there and do nothing. Be nice if that was instead a option to pick what application you want to be able to open. For me, I just leave it back here since I miss the old alert slider. Here's something that the Ultra has, but the Pro does not, the global model, at least for me in the US. On here, this is just customer service for T-Mobile. When I hit call, you're going to see a couple of options here. So I can change what, it's going to put the audio through on. But you're going to see that it's recording the call. And it can also summarize. So let's mute it just so that the automated machine doesn't try and do something. But it can summarize the call and automatically records the call. That is a feature that I absolutely love on this phone. So since it's bringing it up, let's talk about it. If you double tap it, opens up the camera. Nothing new. A lot of phones are starting to do that, like the Vivo X200 Ultra that just came out. But you're able to slide your finger here in the settings. I've disabled it, but you could slide your finger here to zoom in and out. I've changed it to use the volume buttons, so you can see that it's changing there. And just a soft press takes a picture, as you can see. On the lock screen here, I love that they've changed it from the optical to a now ultrasonic. You can see that is really fast and responsive. Doesn't even have to display it, but it is now. We can do that. You can see it goes, it's off, it's there. Really fast and responsive. Of course, the display is great. Let's go in and I'm going to bring up, let's just pull up, and we'll go to Deadpool for a minute. You can see the quality of the image here. Looks really good. It's a nice 10-bit panel, so no issues with the display. Another thing we've got is the audio that people have asked about. How is the speaker on it? All right, so here is just something off of YouTube real quick. It's a no copyright sound. So you can see how it sounds. Sounds really good, really clean. No complaints with the audio on this phone. But speaking of no complaints, one that I do have a complaint with on this phone. All right, so one complaint that I do have with this phone, though, is Pandora music here. I do have a subscription to. This is the problem I have. If anyone watching this video has a little bit of feedback on that, absolutely drop those thoughts and feedback in the comments. Let me know if you're having this problem specifically with the Oppo Ultra, because you'll see on here, on the Pro, it goes right in. I've tried on Wi-Fi. It just played fine on the Pro on Wi-Fi. I've tried on cellular. I actually did a factory reset of this just to make sure that I didn't uninstall something from the system that required it. I'm at a loss, so if you guys have any ideas, definitely let me know in the comments. Doesn't matter how many times I do a retry. You can see the version is 2503.1. I've actually gone to APK Mirror and downloaded several of the last versions as well and tried to sideload those. I still have the same issues. So seems to be something more isolated with the Ultra. But we've talked about the camera, but what I'm going to do is put up a bunch of photos here in the video at this time. I'll go silent and let you guys just enjoy the montage of photos. So we're going to compare it with what comes out of the Ultra, what comes out of the Pro, and a couple of other phones just randomly thrown in there as well. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already, and enjoy the photos. Here we go. Life in mono tech in focus show. Gadgets and gizmos, all you need. Tune in to see the latest feed.